Welcome to Rec at Home. Hey friends, welcome to Rec at Home, brought to you by the Community Recreation Division of Arlington County Parks and Rec. My name is Miss Liz, and since it's December, we're going to work on some winter-themed projects this month. Our project today is Charley Harper's Winter Birds. So, who is Charley Harper? Well, he was an American artist best known for his stylized portraits of wildlife and nature. In a style that was called minimal realism, he created his images using simple shapes and color combinations, as well as simple textures and patterns. He also created several posters for the National Park Service. Check those out.
Alright, let's check out the expectations for the project. The first one is to try your best. There's no perfect in making art. The second one is to be safe. Use those materials like you're supposed to. And the third one is to be kind. Remember to thank anyone that helped you with the project today.
Let's check out what supplies we need. First, we're going to need construction paper in a bunch of different colors. Then we are going to need a pencil, a pair of scissors to cut up our paper, a white crayon. You also have the option of using white paint if you'd like. And we'll need some markers in darker colors like brown or black. And we'll need a paintbrush and a little cup of water. Okay, let's get started. All right, I'm gonna start with a piece of paper, my pencil, and an image of the birds. So the body of the bird is like a teardrop shape. So I'm gonna start there and use my pencil to draw out the teardrop shape. Perfect. Now there's a tail on my bird that is in the shape of a triangle. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw out my tail. It's just a simple triangle shape. All right, so I think I want more than one bird. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw a couple more. I'm gonna cut those out, but I don't need to use them if I don't want to. So I draw a teardrop shape and a triangle for my tail. Perfect. So I'm gonna set my red paper aside and work on my next shape, which is gonna be the area behind the beak. That is black, so I'll grab my black construction paper and my pencil and draw that shape. It is basically a U shape with a flat top and a rounded bottom. So I'm gonna draw that shape for each one of my birds. Okay, great. Now I have 3 for each one of my birds. So I'm gonna set the paper aside and I'm going to grab the orange because I'm gonna work on the beak shape next. So the beak is just 2 triangles. So I'm going to use my pencil and draw out those shapes for each one of my birds. Okay, perfect. Now I'm gonna grab my scissors and start cutting out all pieces to my bird. All right, perfect. I have all my pieces cut out. So I'm gonna set those aside for now and start working on my background. I'm gonna choose this blue color for my background, but remember, you can choose whichever you like. I'm also gonna add trees to my page. So I'm gonna take my white sheet of paper and cut it into a couple strips. Those are just going to be the tree trunks of my trees. Perfect. Now I'm gonna take my brown marker and just add some marks onto the white paper. I don't want my tree trunks to just be very plain, so I'm just gonna go ahead and add a little bit of detail here. Okay, the next step for the tree trunks is I'm gonna grab my cup of water and my paintbrush. And since the marker is water soluble, when I add water to the paper with the brush, it'll kind of smear the brown marker, which is gonna just give the paper a little bit more texture and make it a little bit more interesting. Okay, I'm really happy with how these tree trunks turned out. So I'm gonna set them aside for just a little bit to dry. They shouldn't be too wet, so they'll dry pretty quickly. Then I'm gonna grab the background paper, which is going to be this white color. I'm gonna kind of arrange my tree trunks just to kind of get how I want it to look down before I glue it on. Next, I'm gonna take my glue stick and put glue along the back side of the tree trunks. Then I will glue my tree trunks to my page. Okay, perfect. Just use your finger to smooth it all out. As you can see, some of my tree trunks are kind of hanging off the end of my page. So I'm just gonna take my scissors and clip those off. You might want to save those little extra pieces to add branches to your tree trunk, because that's what we're going to do next. So I'm going to repeat the same process of cutting up the paper and adding it to the page. Okay, now that my background is done, I'm gonna grab all my bird pieces and glue my bird on. So I'm gonna grab my glue stick and start with the body, which is the teardrop shape. I'm gonna add glue to the back and then stick my bird body onto my page. Use my finger to kind of smooth out the paper and make sure it's stuck on. Next, I'm going to add the black piece that is underneath the beak. So I'm just going to repeat that same process. Grab that piece of paper, add glue to the back, and then stick it on top of my bird body. Use my fingers to push it down. And next, I'm going to add my beak. So I'm going to get my 2 triangles, make sure I like how they look. If not, you can always take your scissors to trim them and make them to the perfect size you like. Okay, I decided to trim my beak a little bit and then lay them out just to make sure I like how they look. Then I'm gonna grab my glue and glue my beak to my little birdie. All right, perfect. Now we can't forget about our tail. So grab your little triangle shape, put some glue on the back, and then attach your tail to your bird. All right, perfect. Now you can add as many birds as you'd like to your page. Okay, I think 2 birds look good on my page. So after I have all the pieces glued on, I'm gonna go ahead and grab my magic marker. Then I'm going to use the marker to draw on my eyes on either side of the little bird's head. And I'm also going to use the marker to draw some textured lines on the tail and on the body where the wings would be. You can also use your marker to draw little feet on your birds. All right, now that all our pieces are glued on and we have added our texture with our marker, we're gonna grab our white crayon and just add white dots all over the page. And that's gonna look like falling snow. If you don't have a white crayon and you have some white paint, a great way to do these dots is to either use a Q-tip or you could use the handle side of your paintbrush. Just dip the edge in and dot it onto your paper. All right, I think I'm all finished and I'm really happy with my result. Remember, when you're doing this project, you can use any different color papers you like for your background or for your birds. It's your piece of art, so use your imagination and make it the way you like. Thank you for joining us today. Hope you had fun, and I'll see you next time.